going into my basketball. Every time I rock, man, this is how we rap and raw. Peace to my man, now we got the camera out. Every time I spit it, cross over the...
All right, hello everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu. You're just tuning into episode 65 of the TLOY Talks podcast. You know, you can get this like on all platforms and all that, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, much more. But I'm just gonna get like started right here and all that, and he's been dropping like a lot of like hits like lately, like with CFWM Freestyle, Free MP, TYLM. He's been out and about. We've had him on like last time too, back in like July and all that. He was also like at like a lot of events too, at the Conway, the Machine Show, Davies, much more and all that, with an accompanying guest, by the way, too. We have KG back, and we also have Yung Iceee in the building. So KGDASAV and Yung Iceee, how you guys doing today?
Yeah, what up, bro? I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Welcome back, man.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, I've seen you doing like things like better and better. Just like at these events, just grinding and all that too, and like it's like a huge improvement as well too, and. It's amazing to see and all that too,
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I have to, Gotta keep my head down, stay my lane,
Yeah, no, 100%
keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, man. And with Ice and all that, like we've actually met like a while back at the NASCAR Aloe show and all that. I was like kind of like doing some like vlogging for a bit too, and
I was more into like performing back then. I was performing on that show actually.
True. Yeah, for sure, man. And we'll definitely get it like into it like in a bit and all that too. But to get in with KG's stuff for a bit too. So you've been dropping like a lot of stuff, man. You've dropped like CFWM Freestyle, Free MP, TYLM, even with like Ice and all that too. So what was like that whole like creative process and inspiration like?
Well, first I met this guy through a networking event, and he had a different sound that I fucked with. So we started working. He told me he produced beats and shit like that. So when he sent me a bunch of samples when we first met, it kind of like enticed me to like want to change my style, get off the Detroit hype kind of thing. So CFWM, 3MP, TYLM, those are all with him. Either he mixed or produced it or he's on it. So that kind of brought a different side out with me, Like the first track was a different vibe. It was kind of like a party hype vibe. Yeah. And the other one was a singing. And then another track I made was like a dance song, right? So... Just trying to be versatile, switch it up.
For sure, man. And, it's like very interesting too so far because like with me listening to your stuff and then you like I'm listening to like Ice's like stuff like here and there and all that. It's like two contrasting sounds and all that because like with Ice, it's like a bit of the Spanish stuff, a bit of like the like SoundCloud trap stuff. And then yours, it's like the whole like Detroit stuff. So how does it like kind of like intermingle like together, like just like with those vibes and energies and all that?
Yeah, it works. I don't know.
I feel like when we hop in the studio, we're always able to find something that hits.
Yeah, that
like,
sound for sure.
Even like if we work through email and stuff, like I think that's how we started. Like I sent him a couple tracks and he wrote to it, and then just went from there.
Another track you didn't mention, Step. That was one that we killed. We have a music video for that.
True. Yeah. And like I guess like that experience, working with each other and all that, was it like a very like amazing experience? Like not even just like with the music, but with the content too and all that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I get along with Ice. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I feel like we make good content together.
We're both serious about our craft.
Our voices sound sick together, like any beat.
Yeah.
True, man.
Realistically.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, I'm just going to get into, like, Ice's story for a bit, too. So, where did you grow up and what was, like, the environment like for you, like, growing up in a sense?
I grew up in Toronto, like, West End, or, like, Rogers Road, I guess.
True.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't really get into music till I was, like... older, like maybe like 16, 15, but I always had a passion for it. Like I always listened to music every day. I had a little radio I would listen to on headphones since I was like 6 years old, just on CDs. I'd go to, I think it was Future Shop back then, and buy new CDs every Friday.
Jeez,
and what did they like had like at the time and all that?
Sorry?
What did they like had at like the time? Like
most of the stuff I was listening to was like, I think I had like some Bones Thugs and Harmony, like a lot of Sean Paul.
True.
I don't even remember a lot of stuff. Like I listened to some rock stuff like Mariana's Trench. Can't really remember too many others.
True. For sure,
man.
All
throwbacks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And how did you get into like rap and like making music at the time?
It was in school actually. Like me and one of my friends, we convinced the teacher because they had a recording studio that wasn't being used. We convinced them to reopen it. And it was only like 5 students. And this teacher would basically just give us the keys every day. And we'd go mess around in the studio. And from there, I gained a bigger passion. And then I went to college for it.
True. And in terms of like, the influence into getting into music, like what was that like that influence, and what made you like decided on taking it to like the next like level in that sense?
I really fell in love with like sound design, I guess. Like just figuring out how everything happens in a song.
Oh, for sure, man. Nah. And in terms of your influences, like musically, like who are those, and like who would you like to like work with, like someday that you want to like work with? Yeah.
It's weird for me because like my influences change like every day. Like I'll find a new song and I'll be inspired by it. You know what I mean? So like right now, it's probably like D Baby, Rilo Rodriguez. I listen to a lot. I've been getting into a lot of Gucci Mane, like his old stuff again. Yeah, that's pretty much it right now.
Ah, for sure, man. And just getting back more into like the whole like KG stuff right now, even with this like relationship and all that, like what were like some things that you've learned from each other, like when it comes to like your music and such like that?
Yeah, no, like I was saying from the start, like how he sings and like raps, he does a bunch of different stuff. That kind of motivated me to want to do the same thing, right?
Oh, true.
So like he brings out a different side of me where I can like mess around but make it serious, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
definitely.
Because, like, usually, like, with the music industry, too, and all that, like, there are, like, friendships, and then there are, like, friendships that kind of, like, turn sour and all that, too. And there are, like, situations where, like, friendships either become, like, business relationships or they just become, like, friendships and all that. So
Facts.
so to even, like, speak on that, how do you even, like, value, like, the importance of, like, friendships, like, in the music business? And do you feel like it's important to establish and maintain these friendships, or do you have to keep it, like, strictly, like, business and all that?
No, definitely. I think like live in the moment, but still think about your future and like how it's gonna affect you later on. You gotta really be you. You can't like switch up on anyone, no matter what the circumstances is, and that happens a lot in the music industry. Especially like with me having bare music out, I've dropped songs with like a few other guys that I don't want to talk to no more, just because we fell out of like little petty shit, right? So it's like, yeah, man, it's hard to tell. You just
there's a lot of people in the music industry that have no respect for other artists.
Yeah, no, sure. And how do you like tend to like notice it like right away? Like, what are like the signs when you notice someone that's like only using like that music way to kind of like finesse like artists and all that?
Being greedy, you could tell when it's all about them and they never like want to put in extra effort for you.
If they have ideas and it's only their ideas that go towards like what the main goal is,
facts,
then it's kind of pointless, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think for me too, like what I've noticed is like there are like a lot of like commentaries on like people speaking about like people like using like music or rap to kind of get famous or to be in like another like lane and all that, and like kind of like forget like music in that sense too. Like we could talk about like Post Malone like going into country or like like pop music and all that. You could talk about Blueface and Cardi B like only focusing on music to make money, and then like once they make that money, like they're not doing shit anymore with music and all that too. So do you feel like even in that sense too, like those those ways for like opportunists like have to be like kind of like stopped in a sense and all that?
Like what do you mean? Like in a sense where like they can like chill out and make money in a different way, or
like like
just
even
fall off the music game?
Just like like even like, because like if they see like if they're like in a lane where I'm using this to make like money and all that, and to kind of throw it like all away and all that, would you kind of like lose like respect for that person?
We're all trying to make money out here, man.
Well, I was gonna say like, we're all trying to make money. I feel like I'd be the same way, but I just gotta take it serious in the moment, right?
Nah, for sure.
Make music.
Like at the end of the day, like real artists like is only gonna become a legend if you have a genuine passion for this shit.
Yeah, for
You're
real.
not like the people who are just in it for money. They're gonna make a quick buck, and then in 10 years, you're not gonna hear about them again.
Yeah, no, for
You're
sure.
gonna get tired of making music for sure.
Yeah, nah, 100%. Like I feel like even in that sense too, like if you do like care about the art, you're gonna like show it in the way you craft it and all that too. Like I think like one example would be like like Tyler the Creator and all that too. Like how he's more grounded into only asking questions about music and all that too, and all this like other stuff within like the creator process and everything else too. Whereas with other people, like they don't mind like asking like stuff that's like unrelated to like what's going on and all that too. But it just kind of depends on like the person in that sense, So yeah,
And definitely have a passion. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah, I think it was from Tyler the Creator. I heard this, but it's like make the music for yourself before like for your fans.
for sure.
Because like that's how it reaches a bigger audience. If you make the music for yourself.
For sure. Nah. And getting back onto like what's going on like right now and all that, you actually went to the Conway the Machine show and all that. So how was that experience like going there and like even taking away from that experience on like what have you noticed?
No, it was sick. It was a good hype. I can't lie. I was supposed to perform on that, and I didn't because of unforeseen circumstances, right? Pretty much there was a bunch of people performing, and there was no time, yada, yada. So other than that, though, I had a good time. It was a sick experience in that kind of like style. That's like that real rap, like real lyricism shit. So it was definitely sick. I took a lot from it.
Yeah. And
definitely for sure.
Yeah, and what I could even like say like with Team Real Estate too, like it's interesting how she has like that unique relationship with Griselda and all that too, because like like the whole like Toronto Buffalo connect, it's like amazing to see and all that with artists like tapping in and all that too. So how was it like even like just like meeting people from that experience, like a Conway, like a Jay Skis, like Goose by the Way and all that.
It was lit, yo. Shout out to Drumworks. Shout out to who else? Griselda, you already know.
Shout out Team 247.
Yeah, shout out Team 247. Facts. Nah, they're lit, man. Their energy is definitely like genuine.
Yeah.
I would say they're not trying to be cool or thugged out.
Oh, true.
Like they have respect for whoever it is, big or small,
Oh,
So now those guys show me love for sure.
Oh, for sure. And did you also go to the JV show as well too?
No, I didn't.
No. Yeah, I know
missed that one.
I know like YBA performed. I know there was like a lot of other people that performed too. Yeah.
I heard enough about it.
Yeah.
I was working still.
True. Yeah. I know what you mean, man. And you've been doing like a lot of like content lately too. Like you have like the whole like 30 days like in the live series and all that. You're like vlogging around like these like different places and all that. So tell me more about that and what made you decide on like doing like vlogging and all that.
I had fun doing that. I can't lie. It was tiring, especially because I work every day. And like right after work, I would come up with an idea right off the spot, boom, do it. A lot of them were fillers, but it was definitely fun. It brought out a different side of me, like being able to talk to the camera and look at the camera, and like people really see who I am, what I do on a regular day basis,
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
And, it's like I was like watching like some of the clips too, and like I think you went to like Chick-fil-A like with your girlfriend and all that too. So it was like kind of interesting to see like the commentary like more about the food and all that, and like even like you going to clubs and all that, you doing your thing. It's like very interesting too because vlogging, like I feel like it is very important to kind of showcase that side of a artist or like that side of a person to know like what the day in the life is and all that too. And I don't know if you guys like hold it to like a high priority to kind of do it every other day too, or should there be like a balance?
I think it's very important. Yeah, no, I honestly want to start doing it like anytime I have an event because like it's really a good way to show people, like even if they're in the same boat, like they want to like learn like what to do before a show or whatever. Like there's little tips you can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good vibe. Like see how other people interact with the audience, with people you see that come up to you, even chilling with your friends. That brings out a different side in anybody, no matter what. So it's definitely a good experience.
Nah, for sure. And are you trying to do like more like food type vlogs or just like more like going out like in the day in life process?
Both. A lot of people don't like go out to eat a lot. So there's bare food places. We know that in the city that are random names. So if I go there and I make a video about it, people are going to want to know for sure.
True.
So I think both is very important. Even going out to a club, they can really see the effect you have on a crowd or let's say people around you at the party,
Yeah, no, for sure.
Either like, are you cool? Are you there to have a good time? Or you're just like some weirdo in the fucking corner, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think for me, like
it's important.
Yeah, no, like I've done like more of like the TY like vlogs and all that sense too, and then on TLOY Food Life and all that too. And I realized too, like for me, it's just like kind of finding like the right time to kind of balance everything out too and all that. Like when I do like the TLOY like Food Life stuff and all that too, like it is like very interesting to see like a contrast with the content and to interact with people and all that too. And I think we're gonna do some stuff soon with that. Yeah, man.
I was gonna say that I'm about it. Let's do a food review for sure.
Yeah, true. If there's like a restaurant that we have to like kind of like review and all that, like which one would you select that we haven't like reviewed yet?
Fuck, you put me on the spot right now. I don't even know, man. There's a lot of them because I'm a picky eater too, So we'd have to like talk about it later on, like when I'm not on the spot, because like there's a good amount. Like you could just like name 5 off the bat. Like Jollibee is one.
Yeah.
Like I've had it before, but not a real experience. Like I just had a piece of chicken.
That pasta from there looks so gross. I just see pictures and that shit looks so gross.
But you never know. People say it's good. So
yeah, I know for me, like I've did like some places I've done Shelby. So the first one I've done Kamali Canela. Like on the second one, I think a third one I was doing it with like another guy too, Dutchy. Like shout out to him by the way and all that. Fourth one we did like some Tibetan spot, and then the fifth one was like a burger spot like in Scarborough and all that. I don't know if you know like Mini Mo's like burgers and all that.
I heard of that one.
Yeah. They actually have like some good like burgers by the way too, and yeah, shout out to like Mary for that. You could like actually like stream it like on the YouTube channel and all that too. But I have to like find something that might be different from what I've done before and all that too. So
You said
Try
Tibetan food.
Tropical Joe's. It's
Yeah.
in Gerrard Square. It's
There's
fire.
one by my house too. Yeah,
Fire.
we should do that. That's a
yeah,
good point.
nah,
That
sure,
place
man.
is fire.
Nah, 100% too. You know what? Yeah, man, and you know to even like get back into like the music stuff right now. Like, what qualities do you look for like in a producer and engineer? Like when it comes to working with you like with music and all that.
Time efficiency. If they help you put in ideas and stuff, like you were saying earlier, then it shows they really care about where you're both going and the overall goal, right? So definitely that. Those are the first main two I could think of for sure.
True. And I don't know if there's like, you know, like studio rules that you guys kind of have and all that too, like, you know, like weed or licks or like the shorties and all that type of stuff too.
He runs a studio, so I'll get him to answer that one. I don't really.
Not really any
Care.
rules. It's like it's up to the artist, but like the sessions usually go better if it's just one-on-one and not a lot of people around. Like
Exactly.
if there's a lot of people in the studio, usually it's kind of hard to focus on one thing. There's
sure.
people talking in the back while you're trying to mix a song.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. I like working with him by myself usually.
True. And how's it like, you know, like kind of like owning like a studio by the way and all that?
It's good. Yeah, I've learned a lot. It's been like 3 years now. I just moved locations. Yeah.
True. And what were like some like interesting like studio like experiences that you've like kind of like noticed like from working with like these artists and like all that type of stuff?
Like you were talking about, like he was saying, putting input into the tracks and like helping them out. That I really like doing, but there's some artists in the city that are just like stubborn and you can't help them. Like if you put any input, they get offended by it. So kind of had to learn to figure out which artists to help, which artists just to sit back and do my thing.
And would it be like mainly like rappers or R&B singers or like pop artists?
It's almost always rappers, yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. Because like I like the way like you'd engineer like an R&B singer or like a Punjabi artist would be like very different from like working with a rapper or working with like a band and all that too. It just kind of depends on the mood and energy and all that, you know.
I just think most like other genres outside of hip hop are more open to having other people on the record. Like you'll see pop songs with like 100 people credited on that song, and some of those people were just in the room, like throwing out ideas.
Oh, true. Nah, for sure, man. And you know, to get back into you right now, what was like the inspiration and creative process for like a lot of your tracks? Like I was like listening to Go like a while back, but you also had like Get It, like Lonely Like This, In the Noise, Move Faster, Never Stop, Honesty, Second Guessing, Can't Help This, and like a lot more. So if you were to like say it for a majority or like for certain tracks, what was like that whole like inspiration and creative process like?
To sum it up, like most of my tracks, I try to go for like some sort of like inspirational type rap. Like that's my thing. Like I want to leave a message, I guess.
Have fun.
yeah.
Like have fun.
I just
with
try
it
and have
shit.
fun with it and like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, true.
Sorry.
But do you have like a general like creative process when making music?
Well, right now I just mostly freestyle. I used to write a lot, so like sometimes I'll write random verses throughout the day and then just like put songs together through freestyling and stuff. But when I'm making beats, generally I start with like making a melody, like the full melody, like 2-3 minutes, and then I'll do the drums and send it out to some artists. See who's down to hop on it.
Yeah, when you own a studio, it's definitely the best time to freestyle because you got all the time in your hands
Yeah.
to like fuck around, you know?
Yeah,
He's not paying for time, he's mixing himself. Yeah.
And you know, it's just like the process on who you want to work with, like creatively versus like who would you have to kind of like establish like a relationship, just like, you know, business wise and all that too. So yeah, it just all depends, you know.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yo, like you said, like you were like from Rogers Road and all that. So like in terms of like the artists, is it like a big scene around there, like in that area, or would you say like you're like the only artist like from there, like in that sense?
There's rappers everywhere.
Dude, I mean, in Toronto, there's rappers like everywhere. Every street you go on, there's gonna be a couple rappers. But
Easily.
yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of the rappers that I work with right now are people who don't really drop music like that, but they have some of the best music I've ever heard.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Because I know with like VO and all that, they have like Sheffy, Heartless G, and all that. They have who else? What was I thinking of right now? Yeah, like Sheffy, Heartless G,
Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I'm talking about like Vaughn and Oakwood. So because like Rogers Road is like sorta like around those ends and all that too, and then you have Egg West, which is like Bizloke, Sticky, like Green and all that too, and all that. So
yeah, I know some of the rappers from Egg West.
Oh, true. Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And you actually opened up for NASCAR Aloe, by the way, too. Like we talked about it like briefly and all that. So how did that come about, and how was like like opening up for him, and even with the affiliation with like Social Outcasts?
Yeah, that came together through Social Outcasts. I've known Samuel from Social Outcasts for a bit, and came together through him. He offered me a spot, and I took it. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah. I think I had to sell some tickets for that show, but yeah.
And how's it like, like even like performing at the show and all that, and like even being like close to like NASCAR Aloe? Because when we were like in that same room, like in that crowded room, it was like a shitload of artists. I mean, Aloe was there, like who else? Like Toxic.
No, all those artists like that were there opening, I really fuck with. But the main acts, I didn't really. That wasn't really my thing. Like, I've never heard of NASCAR Aloe before that day. And, bro, he was a weird guy.
Yeah, like, I remember, like, the first... Because, like, I actually did, like,
He told some kid in the crowd to, like, smoke crack or something. Like, smoke crack, like, save lives or some shit like that.
Fuck?
He said some wild shit. It's on TikTok. It went viral.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy, too, because I know, like, the last time he came... Because, like, the last time he came to Canada was, like, I think 2020, and... This is like when he was like with like a backed up like promoter for that show and all that. And so what happened, I'll give you like the backstory. I was like there to like take photos, but like before, like I said, like he was like already like in the venue, like hanging out with like all the artists and all that too. So what happened is that he formed like a little like circle and all that. And like there was like a fan that, wanted to like trying to like get like his attention and all that too. So and Oscar said, "Yo, I'm gonna like hit you and all that, do, just to see like how that energy is and all that too, just to kind of get like some lit vibes." So everyone like backed in a circle and all that, like people were recording and all that, and then like when that moment hit, like it was like kind of hit that guy and all that too, and like the venue security like all came by and all that, and this is like a legit like venue in Toronto and all that too. Like if you know, and they said, "Hey, you can't really do that. I know you're just trying to do like shits and giggles, but if you have to do that, then you're gonna have to like leave and all that, And then I think when he did perform, it was already okay, but he was trying to do the most like fighting people for fun and all that, and because I think it wasn't like intentional, it was just like for fun and all that too. And then he was like kind of like playing with the speakers, like getting like half naked and all that too. So it's like a lot of good.
I think a lot of the promoters in Toronto really need to like look in and do more work on their shows. Like put together an actual list of artists that go together. These promoters will just toss anybody on a show together and think it's gonna go good.
Yeah,
like doesn't make any sense.
True. And you've performed at like other events and all that too, right?
Yeah.
So what was like kind of like the whole like worst like show that you might have like performed at, or like a show that it was like kind of like not how you expected?
No, that one was pretty bad. The NASCAR Aloe one. But it was just because like there was no planning. The VIP guests were standing in the backstage where the opening artists were, just waiting for the artists to come off stage, and there was no space for anybody.
I think like from what I read with that ticket at that time too, because I think they just mentioned that like if you do get VIP, you get to come backstage and all that too. Like that's what happened with me. I paid VIP. And it was a good experience too. I think like that was like the setup too. But I think for future shows,
no, it was a good experience. It was just a little bit of a mess, and I think everybody who was on that show could agree it could have been planned out a bit better.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them still. I can vouch for that.
Oh, true.
I've been at bare unorganized shows. Too many, man.
Yo, which one would you like even like say?
Like my worst show.
Yeah, like kind of like a show that you've regret like performing.
Well, like I never regret because it's always practice, no matter what.
True.
So. But like I'd say like when I perform in Oshawa and shit, I'm not really a fan of those. It's dead. No one goes out there,
True.
But like I said, it's good practice. So
and it's exposure too.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And just I always like say this for people who want to like tap in with music. So for you, Ice, like what free songs would you recommend for people to tap in with and all that?
Say my newest song, "Summertime Madness."
Banger.
Tell me you love me with KG.
Banger too.
And check out "Get It." That's featuring a couple of my friends back from college. That was my first song to ever hit 50K.
True.
I think Step's pretty fire too. Like
Yeah,
I'm being
Step's fire,
biased
too.
because I'm on that song, but he went off on his
Yeah,
verse.
go check out the video for that too.
Yeah. So
I'm
shout out Logan.
Yeah, man. Nah, I'm saying too. And to kind of get back into this whole like general discussion for a bit too, like nowadays too, like the most popular thing right now is like the whole like dissing the dead type stuff and all that too. Like, how do you guys like even feel about that right now?
That's why I liked working with him off the bat because he's not a rapper like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like you said, he has like meaningful shit that you can like have fun with and listen to later on and relate to it, and it leaves a message, right?
True.
That this and the dead, that definitely leaves a message, but not the right one, you know? Especially for the younger generation listening to your music. Then you're gonna have these little kids blurting out words that you're saying.
I feel like it's just bad karma too when you put that
in a bad
energy out
position.
there.
True. Because I know like nowadays too, like even like brands are like kind of promoting it right now. With Fortnite, they're doing the whole like naughty bopping like situation too, like as like an emote for like their like characters who want to like dance or do like an emote. Like I know like we've talked about the whole like Tuka stuff and all that too. So who do we like even like put the blame on in that sense too? Like the artists, the fans, the companies, all the like the environment, like who knows?
It starts with the artist, obviously. Like the person who's relays the message first off the bat leaves a domino effect, right? So definitely the artist.
I feel like it's also sometimes like these bigger artists, it's the labels too, because once these artists are signed, they're signed for the reason that their music is like violent and dissing people and it's going viral, right?
Yeah.
So then they're kind of like forced to feed back into that shit to keep those numbers up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big facts.
Yeah, and I think it also like depends too, because there is like a whole like blackball thing that does happen like with certain like people who are not popular, like like certain ops and stuff like that. So they kind of get blackballed from like labels and all that, being signed and all that too. Like if they favor like this artist and all that too. So, but like if they do have like a viral song, like I know FBG Doug had like the whole like side thing too, and he signed with like Sony and all that too. So, but in any other cases, if like Sony ever did notice, or if they were to be backed by like Dirk and all that type of stuff too, it could also play an effect in like other people who are affected because they want to like get out too, like they want to be famous as well,
Yeah, it comes with maturity. Like that kind of stuff is like, I'm not saying it's immature, but like to a certain extent, you got to be better than that. Like Lil Durk's a perfect example. Yeah. Pure distant ops in the past, and then look now, he's bigger than Chief Keef, obviously. But like, he's not dissing no one. He's trying to like better himself, especially after his relationship problems and all that. Yeah. So it definitely comes with growth for sure.
Yeah, no, for
like
sure.
finding yourself, who you really are.
Yeah, no, 100% too, man.
And he has kids, right?
Yeah. So. For sure, And I know like nowadays too, like 2023 is like closing off into like an interesting year right now with the whole like Keefe D being arrested and also like with Diddy being accused of like a lot of stuff and all that too. So how do you guys like even react to it?
I was just researching that the other day. I don't know. I never really clued into it being something so serious, even though it's 30 years like down the line, right?
Yeah.
But like no, I just heard a lot of funny shit with 50 Cent getting at P Diddy and all that. And then P Diddy's sending out hush money and all this.
Exactly.
I've seen some wild shit about Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car because of like some girl back in 2012.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think someone's out to get him still because someone brought up an accusation of him raping and accessory assaulting.
He's got like 5 rape charges right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly. I know of the whole like Keefe D stuff. Like I remembered, they actually found like I think like shell casings or like bullet like casings like in his home and all that too. Like when they first did the like investigation and all that too, and like they were wondering like why was this like found, and these were like from the same ones at the shooting in like Las Vegas and all that too. So people are like kind of like stirring up the idea of like these interviews and all this other stuff that KVD's like doing, the whole book and all that too, because they're even saying it's pinned to Tupac's like murder and all that. And now I think they're even like doing it with like Diddy nowadays too, with like the other people like they're speaking with like Mark Curry and like Aaron Hall and all that. So
is he not in jail?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, or he did serve a good amount of time, right?
Yeah, I mean Keefe D, because he was in jail like a while back too, and then I think they let him out, and then he might have said something about being like confessing to Tupac murder, and then he was like still alive at that time too. Like he did the interview with Vlad in like 2019, I think, and then I think he was like speaking with like a lot of people too, and then that's when like people were doing the research. This guy might have been someone involved in like Tupac's murder and all that too. So they're like figuring out like all that evidence from like interviews, the shell casings, and so on, because they had to do like a search warrant for that as well too. So
Okay.
yeah, and then
gotta look that up more.
Yeah, I haven't really heard too much on that situation.
But like I think even with the Diddy situation too, because it has been like nothing new and all that, there were like a lot of things that he was like linked with, like the whole like Biggie murder, Tupac murder, who else freaking like the whole like label situation, because like there's like a lot of people from his like old label saying he stole money from them or he shorted like money and all that too. So
yeah, he has to lawyer up. 50 Cent's right, lawyer up, because like even real or like true or not, you never know unless you have a good ass lawyer.
Sell revolt to 50.
And facts.
100% too. And it's crazy. I was actually watching the bowling thing, by the way, too. Like that's when I started to kind of
Spitty?
Yeah, the one with Spitty and all that. So how was that experience like?
That was cool. Yeah. It was random. Spitty posted like a story saying he needed like 11 artists for a video idea. That was my first like YouTube video type thing that I was in. Yeah.
Oh, true. And how was that experience? Like like even like bowling and like meeting these like other artists like well too and all that.
It was good. I won the bowling match or the tournament, so it was great.
100% too, man. Yeah. I mean, shout out to Spitty, by the way, too. We'll definitely like kind of preview that later on and all that. And to kind of close off right now, I mean, you have a birthday show coming up, and then you're also dropping some other stuff right now. So
yeah.
Tell me more about that, man.
Yeah, next Friday, December 15th. I don't know if this video will be up by then, but make sure you guys pull up. It's going to be a movie. I got performances going down. I got YBA, Zentry, Bugs, a bunch of my people, so you already know. Should be a good time. And music I'm dropping, I don't think I'm dropping anything else to finish the year off.
Oh, true.
But I have like a couple EPs that I already have done. He's on one of the songs, so I should be dropping them like early, like February.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I got a bunch of features that I'm trying to work on instead of dropping like solos.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for that.
And how's the status with you and like RJ and all that?
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, I just got beats off him the other day. It's a part of the tape, right? So definitely got to keep that relationship close. I should be able to have the chance to open up for Baby Tron when he comes to the city.
Oh, true.
So yeah, stay tuned. Big plans.
Sure, and I guess for you, it's just like more music and all that, right?
Yeah, I got a song dropping on December 15th, actually.
Yeah, with his bro Alone.
Way Alone.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Fire.
And I guess you guys are doing like a dual performance on that day, or like what's that process like?
I'm gonna pull up. I don't know if I'm performing, but I'll be there.
Oh, true. And do you guys have any like closing remarks you'd like to say for a bit too?
Shout out to you guys for having me back for part 2. You already know it's lit. It's a good vibe here. I love it. I love the energy. You guys are sick.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to my boy right here. He's doing big things. Make sure you tap in.
Yeah, shout out to KG for bringing me on.
Gotcha,
shout out to you for having me on. And hit up Icebox Studios if you need studio time.
Yeah, tap in, yo. Tap in.
Sure. And yo, Ice, KG, KG, thank you for coming back, man. Ice, it was a pleasure like tapping in and all that. Yep. And we'll definitely have like the new music on like all the playlists and all that too. And yo, this is Josh, also known as Yashu, episode 65 of TLOY Talks. You can get it anywhere and all that. Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, much more. YouTube. Like I've said this like before, like many times and all that too. And yo, you could also like tap in with like the playlist as well too. Like it's always streaming and everything else too and all that. And yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna have some more stuff coming on, so like kind of stay tuned for that. But yo, this is Josh, also known as Yashu, with KGDASAV and Yung Iceee on TLOY Talks, signing off.
Yep.